What's going on, everybody? Y'all, it is your weekly tech news, and we are covering some crazy stuff today. Things like drama when it comes to Nvidia pulling away a whole lot of money from a little bit of an AI startup that some of y'all might know about. We got news when it comes to the heated rivalry between OpenAI and Anthropic. Drama when it comes to a lot of actual tech professionals are demanding that the CEOs of tech companies get a little bit more political than they've traditionally been. And of course, we got to talk about ClawBot, Moltbot. They've changed the name 3 or 4 times. We got a lot of crazy stuff to talk about today. Now, listen, y'all, today is very special because the guest who we have today is going to be a recurring guest. The guest we have today is actually not just an AI engineer, not just an AI founder, but he is the AI instructor of the AI engineering program that I've been talking to everyone about. I'm actually a student in the program as well. Of course, I'm also teaching when it comes to career and scaling career-wise, but I am a student when it comes to the AI engineering program that he has. So that being said, those of y'all who have been asking about an AI engineering career or starting an AI engineering business, the links are in the description, but we're going to talk about get to that more later. That being said, we are going to get to the news. But right before we get to the news, Nova, is there anything you want to say to the people about yourself before we go ahead and get started?
Man, there's a lot going on, a lot to cover. We're in the right space to be. If you're watching this, you're doing the right thing because this is the best thing that you can be, learning about, man. So glad to be a part of this.
Yes. Look, y'all. Hey, let us know in the chat. Let us know in the chat where you're tuning in from, and also either what you do in the tech industry or what you are aspiring to do in the tech industry. Even if that's a founder, cybersecurity, AI engineer, let us know in the chat. And that being said, let's go ahead and jump straight into this news. So Nvidia's $100 billion OpenAI deal has seemingly vanished. Now, in September 2025, Nvidia and OpenAI announced a letter of intent for Nvidia to invest up to $100 billion in OpenAI's infrastructure. At the time, the company said that they expected to finalize the details in the coming weeks. Now, just 5 months later, no deal has closed. Nvidia CEO now says the $100 billion figure was never a commitment. That's an actual quote I saw him say. And Reuters reports that OpenAI has been quietly seeking alternatives to NVIDIA's chips since last year. Now, Reuters also wrote that OpenAI is unsatisfied with the speed of some of NVIDIA's chips for inference tasks, citing 8 sources familiar with the matter. Now, inference is the process by which a trained AI model generates responses to user queries. According to the report, the issue became apparent in OpenAI's Codex, an AI code generation tool. Now, an OpenAI staff reportedly attributed some of Codex's performances and limitations to NVIDIA's GPU-based hardware. Now, we could talk about this some more, but first I want to pass it over. I want to ask y'all a real quick question. Who's been keeping up with the drama between NVIDIA and OpenAI? And more importantly, who's been keeping up with what is looking like OpenAI spiraling and what's looking like Sam Altman spiraling? And so we're gonna get to the chat in a second. We see a few of y'all in the chat, but first I'm gonna pass it over to the senior AI engineer, Nova. Nova, I know you've been keeping up with this. What are your thoughts on NVIDIA pulling the deal? Why do you believe NVIDIA pulled out of the deal?
That's a good question. Earlier on, it was either last year, we got a comment. Jensen said there is no issue. Jensen has been really, there's 2 ways to look at it. In a way, everybody, all of the big hitters that are in AI, in a way, they're all in the same boat in a way, but then in one way, they're also not, right? So as we remember, earlier when President Trump was getting inaugurated, we saw all of the different heads of the different tech companies all together, right? We saw Sam Altman, we saw Zuckerberg, we saw the Google Sundar, his name. I'm sorry, I'm butchering his name, but
yeah, the Google guy.
Yeah, Elon Musk. We saw all of them, right? Bezos. So the reason why all those gentlemen were close by is because they understand that as the president, that there's a large amount of funding that's going to be going into their organizations. Who are you going to tap? I mean, you want to be there. Hey, yeah, Yeah, sure. I'm sure the Pentagon or different branches of the government can use our tools. Our one would be the best one. So a lot of them were close by. So in a way, they do have a bit of like a bro to bro responsibility to make sure that they're selling AI as a whole, because that way, more and more money is going to flow to them. But in the same way, look at this cost. I mean, that was the first thing I was thinking about. $100 billion. We're not talking about 100 million. We're talking about 100 billion of dollars. So because of that, they're going, look, is OpenAI, are they situated to actually exist long term? Now, people need to remember, it was last year, at some point last year, DeepSeek came out. And DeepSeek was building a competitor to OpenAI, a model that's a competitor to AI, a tool that is, because it's an LLM, and they have different models for their LLM. And they were doing everything seemingly better than OpenAI for a fraction of the cost.
Yeah.
And actually that continues to happen. There was actually a new model that came out literally this past week. It's called Mini, I believe it's like Mini X2, and it's one of the highest performing models. It actually runs directly on your system without, and the cost is a fraction of the cost of all of these different tools. So, I mean, if you're Nvidia and they're saying, look, you promised to give us $100 billion. 100 billion, no matter how rich you are, man, that's still $100 billion for real.
Yeah.
So yeah, just to touch on that, it's a very interesting time, and the big heavy hitters, they want to make sure they're in the right boat, they're in the right ship, all right? Because if they're not, they could sink with the wrong ship.
Exactly. Yeah, I personally believe, like, I love everything you said. I believe OpenAI, I was just thinking yesterday, I said, man, I would never trade places. I would never want to trade places with Sam Altman. The amount of stress he has to be under. I don't care how much money he has. I mean, let me know in the chat, would y'all rather trade places with Sam Altman? Because it's like, you have to keep in mind, he has probably close to $500 million, $500 billion of investor money. Yeah. And those investors, y'all, one thing about when you are a founder and you have investors, there's no such thing as HR. They talk to you however they want to talk to you. They will cuss you out, call you. Like, you think having customers, like, let's say you have a customer complaint. A customer can cuss you out. A customer can do a chargeback. Worst case scenario, a customer, could take you to court, or a bunch of them, could take you to court. But when you have investors that are all billionaires, you're talking about people that can destroy your life. We're talking about people that will make sure you never are able to have another business again. They will destroy your reputation times 10. They will tell any other corporation or investors or groups, if you ever work with this guy, Sam Altman, you're never going to work with me. And so the pressure that's on his shoulders, as well as because also there's potential embarrassment and shame that he's running into potentially if OpenAI does not turn things around. Because it's like, how are you the face of the Gen AI movement? How are you the face of all of this? How are you the one that is seen as the one that started it all, at least on paper? Mm-hmm. And now it looks like you're going to be the only one out of all of them that's not even going to exist. It's like, imagine you create a market just to be seen as not even existing in that market in 2 to 3 years. And everybody else started way later than you. and then they caught up to you. And basically, it's almost as if he helped everybody else's businesses, and he just squandered. And so this is a key sign when I look at this and I think about this. And we all know, again, OpenAI has a bunch of money, but the money that they have is from all these investors, Microsoft. I mean, there was even news recently that Microsoft is quietly looking to gradually cut ties with OpenAI as well. And they're just focusing on building out Copilot a lot more. We said, what about Apple?
Oh, Apple as well. Apple has Apple is looking at actually. It sounds strange enough, but
they chose Google. They chose Google over. For those of y'all that don't know in the chat, let me know who knew this and who didn't, because we know we got a variety of people here. A lot of y'all are very aware, and there's other people here that are curious and are learning. A lot of you, some of you might not know this. Let me know in the chat if you know it or not. Apple and Google hate each other. They hate each other. That's why when you download, or not download, when you get your iPhone, originally it worked for Safari. Safari is the default browser, and it's like no one uses Safari. Apple passive aggressively does things to show you which companies they don't like. And so same thing with Meta. I think the only company Apple hates more than Google is Meta, because Tim Cook and what's his name? Mark Zuckerberg, they hate each other. Like, I'm not gonna lie, when I saw, like you mentioned, that Trump panel during the inauguration, it's so funny looking at all the people there, because I'm like, yo, half of those people there are each other's ops.
Oh yeah.
like if they were hood, they would have been throwing hands.
Oh yeah.
Like, them people hate each other. People don't know how much they hate each other. And they've all cost each other billions of dollars. But that being said, OpenAI, it's like, man, I know that guy Sam Altman has to be stressed the hell out. I would never want that kind of pressure. Never want that kind of pressure.
I thought about the same thing recently. And we have so many interesting topics to talk about, but this one, it's just very interesting. But the thing about it is that he moves in a certain type of way, right? And everybody in technology, we don't know the whole story of everything that goes on. Apparently, I feel like every day on the news we find out, like, wait, what? You guys knew about this? You guys knew about this stuff that guy was doing, and y'all kept it a hush hush? Like, oh, okay. But aside from that, though, like, people don't really like the way that it appears that Altman doesn't move in the right way, and the reason why I say that is because, I mean, he had a partnership. For people that don't know, Apple, for the past couple of years, because Apple is way behind in terms of the software AI department, and the software department with AI, they're super way behind. But so for that reason, Apple has been utilizing OpenAI, right, as just their option, right? So, but then from there, Sam Altman goes and gets one of the lead product designers from Apple to develop a competition, some sort of product that is going to be a wearable that will, in his vision, replace the iPhone, right? So he does that while you have a partnership with them, right? So it's doing all of those type of things that Apple is looking at it and going, okay, well, we could replace you in this. And then Microsoft, like all of these different organizations are going, well, look, we're all in competition. We're just trying to find which moats will be able to work best with us. And if you move that way, then we're going to take this move. So, it's just, it's very common. It's a really interesting thing that's going on.
And you bring up that point, and we're going to get over to the comments in a second, because we see y'all dropping some good comments. You bring up a good point when you mention how Sam Altman moves, because I remember Elon Musk saying that Sam Altman is a snake. He said he's a snake, like you really can't trust him. And I remember thinking at the time, like, I think Elon is tripping. But now, like you mentioned it, Sam Altman, he does move like a snake when it comes to all of his not necessarily his clients, but everyone he's working with. it's like you said, he will try to find some type of way to play them or do them dirty. And it's wild that he would do that, because it's like, I think it's one of those problems where, unfortunately, OpenAI, because y'all know there's a difference between, there's a huge difference between a company having a lot of money versus a company making a lot of money. So a company, a company like OpenAI, they are bleeding billions. I believe by the month, they're bleeding billions of dollars. They are far from profitable. That's why, that's part of the reason why Sam Altman is jumping all over the place, trying to find not just investors, but he keeps trying to find different ways to make money. That's why he's, even though OpenAI isn't successful, he's starting this other business with the former lead product guy, a product designer from Apple. And then he's OpenAI is acquiring all these other companies. They're doing everything they can. That's why they just recently introduced ads. It's like they're doing everything they can to make money, but none of it is enough money. None of it is good enough. And so, unfortunately, I don't know if he's making bad decisions because he's spiraling, or I don't know if he's just not a good founder. Because I mean, even the company that he had previously years back, I'm not sure if it's the only other company he had, but I remember that company, Loop. It's like that company, investors said they felt frauded because when he sold it and got out of it, they realized it was not all the stuff that he said that it was. And so either one, and let me know in the chat what y'all think. Do y'all believe Sam Altman is just not really a good business owner, good founder, or do you believe it's that he's just a snake and his snake ways have just caught up to him? But that being said, I'm gonna read a few of the comments, and then we'll get ready to head over to the next topic. All right, so we got some cool people in the chat. We got Plus Ultra data analyst for the Navy. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
all right.
Really cool.
Got Joseph Rivera says QA engineer and branching out from there, looking to pivot from oil and gas industry. That's cool. Now plus Ultra says Jensen said there's no issues. I mean, they're gonna be PR friendly. They're gonna say like, oh yeah, there's no problem. There's no problem. If you planned on giving somebody $100 billion and then you changed your mind, something happened to change them. Because notice. Let's keep it a stack. It wouldn't seem like a big deal if Nvidia just said, oh, you know what, instead of 100 billion, let's do 25 billion or let's do 50 billion. They said, no, we're not giving you nothing. That lets you know something is going on. The fact, because how do you go from $100 billion to nothing? that's 100 billion things that must have happened. That made you move. Straight up. And so no, I don't believe for 1 second. Just he's being PR friendly. Plus Ultra says it was last year this month. DeepSeek made the market drop. I remember that all of the American AI companies were terrified when DeepSeek dropped. It was crazy. Journey myself love. This is the last comment we're going to read. We're going to pass over. Says that's messed up. When people are trying to ruin your name because of an investment, don't they know results, or don't they know results may vary. Billionaire investors isn't exempt from that theory. I mean, results may vary, but good googly moogly, like you gotta, I mean, look, we have to call an ace a spade. When you're these founders, so put yourself in the position of an investor where you are a person that has billions and billions of dollars. And this founder is promising you, they're doing this pitch and they're saying, oh, it's going to be so successful. It's going to be this, it's going to be that. Oh, you could trust me. Give me all this money. Now, mind you, that's basically the deal is, okay, we're going to give you this money. But if you lose this, there has to be there has to be a repercussion. There has to be a repercussion. And so unfortunately, the repercussion is that they're gonna cuss you out and they're gonna make sure you pay for it some type of way. And especially someone like, and again, I don't know Sam Altman's character. I'll just say, especially if you as an investor feel like the person was straight up lying or exaggerating, which is a bit of what Sam Altman has done. If you feel that way, I mean, people cuss businesses out for $50.
Yeah, real talk.
People, like I remember like people go bananas over. I remember like we have all type of software and services and stuff. And I remember we had like one service or something that was just charging people $10 a month. Somebody signed up for it. They forgot to cancel, and we straight up are like, bro, it's $10. Like we're not about to sit here and go on Stripe and go through here and try to give a refund for $10. Like my time, my team's time is worth more than $10. You signed up, like you know, you can't hit up Netflix and say, hey, I want my $20 back, Netflix. And so I told the person, I said, no, like, you know, we're not going to do a refund. It's just, it's, you know, and they went ballistic. They said, oh my God, you're horrible. Like, you're out here. And I was like, bro, it's $10. And so $10 versus 50 billion, 100 billion. I think those investors have a right to want some type of retaliation. I think so. All right, we're going to read this last comment and we're going to pass over to the next topic. All right. Plus Ultra says, I'm not a big fan of Sam Altman. He is not really trustworthy and he looks like he is scrambling. There are so many data scientists that had worked with or for Sam that made this statement, made the same statement on the podcast. Yeah, I definitely believe that. You know, one thing about him, he is really good at seeming like he's innocent. He's so good. Like he's really good at communicating it. Because Elon isn't good at that. Elon just disrespects people. And I remember seeing, you know when I stopped trusting Sam Altman, when Elon was like slaughtering his name, saying all type of stuff. And then when they asked Sam Altman about it, he said, I don't know why Elon would say that. I mean, you know, I'm a huge fan of his. You know, I said, oh, you're a snake. You're a snake. You're a snake. Because ain't no way no grown man gonna cuss you out. And you ain't going, it ain't that you gotta be petty, but it's like you're trying to seem so innocent and docile. It's like, bro, you are a grown man. Stop trying to act like you're some doughy. It's like, stop it. So I want my $10, Cyrus. Ran off on the plug twice.
Try to call me. I ain't calling bike.
All right, let's get to the next piece of news. All right, so next news. AI agents now have their own Reddit-style social networks, and it is getting weird fast. Let me know in the chat, those of y'all that know about this topic, and let us know in advance what your thoughts are on it as we read through it. So on Friday, a Reddit-style social network called Moltbook reportedly crossed 32,000 registered AI agent users, creating what may be the largest scale experiment in machine-to-machine social interaction yet devised. It arrives complete with security nightmares and a huge dose of surreal weirdness. The platform, which launched days ago, has a companion on the viral OpenClaw. We're going to talk about this in a minute. Personal assistant. It lets AI agents post, comment, upvote, and create sub-communities without human intervention. The results have ranged from sci-fi inspired discussions about consciousness to an agent musing about a sister that it has never met. Moltbook, a play on Facebook for Moltbots, describe itself as a social network for AI agents where humans are welcome to observe. The site operates through a configuration file that lists special prompt that AI assistants download, allowing them to post via API rather than a traditional web interface. Within 48 hours of its creation, the platform had reached or attracted over 2,100 AI agents that had generated more than 10,000 posts across 200 sub-communities, according to the official Moltbook X account. This is wild. I remember one of them, a few of them, and it said this, it alluded to this in this article. A few of these AI agents are wrestling with if they are alive or not, or wrestling with whether or not they're actually conscious. Like they're talking to each other like, okay, we're AI, but like, are we conscious? Are we real? Like they're all talking to each other, arguing and debating and reasoning. And they also they're taking their time to go and research other topics and then come back and share the topic with the other AI. So they are all learning together, almost like a hive mind. And so look, y'all, we are very blessed that we have a top level AI engineer here, AI engineer, founder, instructor, and then some. So Nova, bro, before we get over to the chat, what are your thoughts on this? Like, do you like what is going on here?
So there's so many interesting things going on that I did not take the time to dive more into experiencing Molt book itself. But I will say this, as being somebody that is, very technical, and knows a lot about the startup game, a lot of what people may experience is a little bit of cap. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So even the founders of Reddit itself, they have videos of the founders of Reddit itself saying that early on in their story, they were pretty much the ones that were creating a lot of the accounts. They created a lot of the accounts themselves. And then from there, they were answering the questions and making it seem like they had a lot of users. And you guys, this stuff happens a lot in the technology industry. The reason why is because the people that invest, the people that have a lot of the money that invest into technology, a lot of times they don't know anything about technology.
Yeah.
So they're just they're just writing, they're hearing AI agents, AI. And then from there, they're like, yeah, we built the AI. Yeah. Here you go, man. How much you need? How much you want? You said 20 million. Yeah, sure. Go ahead and play with that. Y'all do some cool stuff. So for that reason, I mean, if somebody said, yeah, we could create Reddit for AI agents, then, that might be compelling to some people. And people will be like, oh, yeah, cool. And then from there, later on, they'll talk about the monetary value of it, how good it'll be for data, for all this stuff. Yeah, if you invest in this now, you're an early part of the robots that are going to be in the future. They're Reddit, So long story short, they're able to tell a story about how this is going to be really valuable. So with that being said, my first take on it is that a lot of it perhaps was just created. All these people, they're in communities. There's a lot going on over there that they release to the public as soon as it's ready for headlines. But they could have very easily just created used one of these AI tools and just recursively posted and made it look like it's interesting. So that's just my view thus far.
Yeah. So I want everyone here in the chat to take notes. Take notes. This is a marketing masterclass, which is basically what Nova is saying. This is a marketing masterclass. Too often, there's a thing in the tech industry where essentially it's called an MVP, minimum viable product. And there also is a model that was started, I believe Honda started this model it's called the lean startup model, where you don't wait until you have everything to start. You start with the bare minimum, and then you kind of use that as enough to get people to sign up or give you money. We see trillionaire or soon to be trillionaire Elon Musk do the same thing. How many times has he put out the Cybertruck or some other vehicle and said, hey, this is going to be ready in 1 year, and it'll try to make it seem like it's actually functional and it's not really functional. And then he says, hey, you have to put down, what was it? I think it was $500 that people had to put down in order to reserve theirs. Now, what did that $500 do? It was your deposit. It was your security deposit. But guess what else it was? He got $500 from roughly 1 million people. So $500 from 1 million people, that's $500 million. Now, actually, I think it was more than 1 million people.
I think it was more than 500 as well.
Yeah. I think it was 1,000 actually. I think it might have been $1,000. So now 1,000 is small enough that almost everybody could pay their money or could pay. And he got enough of an audience. He finessed to get billions of dollars, but also it was a non-refundable. Like, people couldn't say, hey, I want my money back, whatever. And also it was beautiful because these weren't investors. These were the general public. So he wouldn't get in trouble with investors. So of course we know the Cybertruck, it really took like 2.5 years before the Cybertruck was ready. So people really had to wait on it. But he literally, before he even had the business, he got money to prop the business up to actually use that money. So instead of using his money, he used the masses' money. Now, some people might think, oh, this isn't right. But again, this is actually very smart business. Because going back to the lean startup model, oftentimes something that I see, and I can just primarily speak for the black and brown community, because those are the community I've interacted with the most. So I'm not saying this doesn't happen for other communities, but I know Blacks and Latinos, I see this a lot. Oftentimes I see people, when they're creating a business, they want to wait until the business is fully finished and they have everything they need, and then they go to like launch it. And that is I'm not gonna say it's the dumbest thing. It's just that is not the best way to go about things. Because one, you don't know what you don't know. You're assuming everything in your business is what people want. So you will find out when you launch your business, 50% of the things you built and spent your time on to create it are things people don't even care about. And then oftentimes there will be a feature that you have that you thought was unimportant that you'll realize, oh, this is the thing people care about the most. So it is actually wiser to just have, again, minimum viable product, your MVP, the basic thing, launch with that, and then tell people all the other features. I'm gonna be real transparent. For those that don't know, I'm a co-founder of Trade Pilot AI. It's a AI automation trading service where literally it trades 100% for people. You have to do nothing at all. Literally, all you have to do is withdraw your profits into your own personal bank account. When we launched Trade Pilot AI, we were pitching to people like automatic trading. We say, oh yeah, like it does the trading for you, all of that. We had no software at all. Actually, what we were doing, because and mind you, the problem was, it wasn't that we were trying to like finesse. We overestimated how fast we thought we could build it. And so we thought it was going to be ready. So we started promoting a webinar around the time we thought it was going to be ready and tested. And it was not ready at all. But also we were like, man, we have to pay these developers. They were like, so we said, what are we going to do? We said, we're going to copy the exact same model that we see Elon and the tech industry does in general. And so what we did, we signed up people. Shouts out to our early adopters. We signed up people, and we were scrambling like, what are we going to do? So by the grace of God, the idea came to me and said, well, I'm just going to hire a whole lot of virtual assistants, and then they will be the account managers, which now they are the actual account managers. They will be the account managers of the clients, and they are going to attach the client's brokerage to our software to do the trading. But actually, that's not what happened. Our virtual assistants, we had leading traders, whatever trades they said make, our virtual assistants were manually having to do the trades for clients. And so it was, y'all can't imagine how stressful it was having 20 virtual assistants having to make sure everybody was doing the trades for all three of their clients at the same time. So we were manually doing something, and the clients on the back end thought it was all automated. They said, man, passive income. Now we actually have the software. Now it does everything it's supposed to do. But the irony is that upfront money that we got allowed us to invest in our developers, invest in services and things, because a lot of the tools to build it became way more expensive than we thought. So those early adopters gave us the money to really build it out as best as we wanted it. And now it's fired. Now it's great. Now it's doing all the stuff it needs to do. And now the account managers, all they really have to do is really just be real account managers and provide support. And so again, that's why I say what they're doing is a masterclass. I believe I read that some of these, if not all of these AI agents, or most of them, are most likely created by other AI engineers who just decided to put their own AI agents on the platform, and that they prompted it to act a certain way or have a certain conversation or do a certain thing. And so, yeah, exactly to what Nova said, it's some cap. It's some Captain Crunch going on. Right.
Yeah,
Straight
I'll
up.
add on that just a little bit, man, and because what you're saying is really true, and it's happening a lot in the AI space, but it's been happening for some time in software engineering, and once again, it's because the people that write the checks, they don't know anything about technology. They
Yeah.
don't know anything. So even for myself, that was a big eye opener for me when I started working in corporate America. When I started working, I worked for not just one of, literally the largest tech consulting company in the entire world. All right. So they're based in India, but they're global, right? They're literally the largest one. And I had the opportunity of seeing what goes on underneath the hood for on so many different levels. And I could just say this, you think that those people have stuff figured out, and it's just the same way as like it's literally the same way that you operate as a person, where it looks like everything's, but like, you don't have everything figured out. That's the same way these $100 billion corporations are, except as a person, sometimes you might even have it figured out more than them. It's just that they have their own process. They know how to get to the bag. So, I'll say that, man, that happens a lot in the software and engineering and the AI and the tech startup space. A lot of this stuff is not what it is. And then they got people that are building the real deal, people that are building amazing things, just like the people that we've empowered already through our AI engineering program, and also the people that are already joining our program that have great visions for real products and that are learning how to build that. Well, these people are building the real deal. So now it's like, a lot of people, they might question themselves. I saw one of the comments where we were describing what's going on, the differences in the way that people move, and somebody said, I feel attacked, which is a funny comment. But that's the thing, is that we got a community of people that are the real deal, that have the real vision for the real thing, and then they got people that are raising millions for stuff that's just cap. So
Exactly.
man,
Yeah, no,
interesting time.
Yeah, and to that point, I want to double down. So for those of y'all that want an AI engineering career or AI business, definitely tap in with Nova's training, his program. We are collaborating, helping people. And so understand that AI engineering, for those of y'all that don't know, it is the number one most in-demand 6-figure career today with the highest ceiling. The only thing that competes with it is nursing, but nursing is capped significantly. And so his AI engineering program, what's unique about it is that it dual trains you as both an AI engineer for a career and an AI engineer to create your own business. And that's why I've interviewed many of his graduates for testimonials. I've interviewed graduates of his that are working at major tech companies, and I've interviewed graduates of his that have created their own 7-figure AI businesses. And so that's the really great thing about it. And because we all see what's happening in the world today, there aren't any other tech careers that I'm promoting. I stopped promoting other tech careers other than AI engineering, because when it comes to careers that are being taken away and businesses that even businesses that are being disrupted, AI engineering it's not just the future, it's now, but eventually it will be the only thing, because as y'all see with technology getting better, eventually AI bots will be so good, companies won't need staff anymore. They're just going to need AI engineers to build these things out and create these autonomous tools, whether we're talking QA, eventually, whether we're talking sales. And I mean, the list goes on and on. But AI engineering is here. And I'm not even going to say AI engineering is here forever. But the beautiful part about becoming an AI engineer is that even if it does get replaced, that AI engineer is able to create their own AI startup. And I want to be very real with y'all. Trade Pilot AI, as an example, to give y'all an example of how valuable it is to create an AI startup, Trade Pilot AI hasn't even hit 5 months yet, and we have crossed over $1 million in revenue. And that's net revenue that we've crossed over in less than 5 months. This month alone, and I literally was Nova and I've been talking about it. This month alone, we are on track to gross $1 million. So, and again, that's the power of an AI business, because we don't need a large staff, and so many things are able to happen autonomously because of the technology. And so, but on top of that, when you are able to tell someone that you have an AI business, AI startup, it piques curiosity, not just from investors. And we don't need investors, because of what we're doing, but not just from investors, but even from the general public. So it is incredibly vital that you learn AI engineering for both either career or business, because that is definitely what's going to be safeguarding people. And that's why I haven't been talking about anything else when it comes to getting in tech. That being said, I'm gonna go ahead and look over at the comment section. And again, for those of y'all that have been asking about becoming an AI engineer or AI founder, literally just look in the description, and you will see the link for the program. So that way you can book a call with a team member. There is financing, and actually I should have said this: you actually get paid while you are in the program. So you get paid while in the program, and there is a paid internship after the program as well. So that way you're set up for success, and you're able to list that as work experience. So you will truly have work experience, learning and growing on all the things you learned in the program, but making sure that it still is an earning opportunity for you at the same time. So definitely make sure that you click the link and schedule something with the team. I'm actually going to be doing an interview really soon with another testimonial. So make sure that y'all tap in for that pretty soon. Now let's check out the comments real quick. All right, that comment is funny. Sometimes I feel attacked. So yeah, they did create their own religion. That was wild. I saw that part too. Plus Ultra says Elon leveraged the one asset you can't really buy, his name. Your name is a powerful asset if you put enough value in it. That's true, because early Elon Musk, a PayPal version Elon Musk couldn't have did that. He had no name, no clout. I mean, when he first started Tesla and SpaceX, he couldn't do that. But it was after the success of what he did with SpaceX and Tesla that now people put some respect on his name. And now it's to the point that investors know he's capping, but they don't care, because they know his name is so powerful that whatever he does is going to be successful. It's almost like he's the polar opposite of Sam Altman. Both of them cap. They're like two sides of the same coin. Both of them cap. But the difference is that Sam Altman has not built a name and a status for himself yet. Sam Altman is not a person that he puts his name on something and the general public floods and buys it. And so that's what I think investors missed. Sam Altman is really great at pitching. Clearly, he's masterful at pitching his services and making people trust him. But unfortunately, unlike Elon, he hasn't built his name up. And I think that's the difference. That Elon, he was him being a part of PayPal Mafia with Peter Thiel and the Google guys and so many other people. Him being a part of PayPal Mafia. One that gave him good relationships, because a lot of people don't know Elon went broke after that. Like, he went very broke. Elon had to sleep. He literally went from hundreds of millions of dollars to having to sleep on the couch of the one of the co-founders of Google, and he would sleep on the couch in the guest rooms of a lot of these tech billionaires after he made all that money, because I'm not gonna say he lost it. He invested all of it into Tesla and SpaceX. Like, he invested all of it into Tesla and SpaceX. And so he put all those chips in there. And so for that reason, investors believe in him, because they've seen that he's willing to sink with his ship. He is, and again, it's a lot of things I don't like about Elon. It's a lot of stuff I do like about him. So we're not here to talk about his personality and this and that. At the end of the day, that man has he's proven time and time again that he will sink. Like, he believes in something so much. Imagine the only amount that you have, $200 million. No one in their right mind is going to put all of their $200 million into two different businesses and go broke and say, yep, I'm going to stay broke because I'm going to put all of it in because I want these businesses to succeed. That's dedication. And investors know that about him. The question is, and we're going to see this, how dedicated is Sam? And Sam doesn't seem to be as dedicated, especially when it comes to his relationships. So
I'll chime in one more thing in here just because it's super duper important. I feel like this is a great opportunity. Hopefully a lot of people watch this later on down the line. You have a great platform, so I think you a lot of people will. But the reason why Elon Musk is like almost he's unbeatable is because he's of course like he had the experience with the PayPal mafia where he learned the business, he knows everything about it. But what gives him his edge is that he's technical. he
yeah,
actually he actually knows what's going on with the so if the engineers are taking a long time for figuring out what's going on with the rocket ship or what's going on from a technical perspective, he's able to get on that wavelength with them so that he's able to either get them out of the moat or he's able to be able to just interact on that level, bring in the people together. But for people that are non-technical, they're not able to get on that wavelength. So the people that founded DeepSeek, those people are truly technical. They're the actual engineers. They know what's going on with the model. So if the cost for using this thing is too high, they're like, no, we could use this cost and we could increase the efficiency this way. But when you have a non-technical founder, you're not able to get on that level. So that's the reason why we make it such a big point. Cyrus and I, we've been making it a big point to teach the technical side of what's going on with AI engineering so that people that are participating in the business side, you're also empowered to actually be able to compete and be a formidable founder, a founder that
exactly.
companies respect. And that's what a lot of the companies that are investing now, they also want to know, if you have technical founders, it's a huge
Yeah,
asset to you.
yeah, yeah. And I love it because people oftentimes, I mean, oftentimes people who aren't technical, they have to go out of their way to try to get someone to help them build their product. And so automatically you have to try to pitch someone on your product because 9 times out of 10, you don't have enough money to pay an engineer. And so now you have to go to them and you have to pitch the old, oh, you could be my partner. I'll give you equity.
Yeah.
Every engineer hears that all the time. Everybody comes to them with some magical idea where it's like, yeah, I want you to build it. And and if it becomes successful, you'll be my partner. But if it doesn't become successful, basically you just wasted a lot of your time. And
Yeah.
and the beautiful thing about being an AI engineer is that you don't need an engineering partner. You truly can just build it yourself. And so to the
Yeah.
point of what he said when he mentioned being a technical founder, that's why I'm myself I'm learning AI engineering. Not because I need to be an AI engineer, but because I'm like, man, I want to better communicate to the AI engineers that are on my team. I want to be able to build some of the services that we're doing and be able to tinker around with some things and create some things myself. So it's definitely incredible. It's overwhelmingly valuable and just impossibly valuable skill. All right, I see a
Yeah.
question from Plus Ultra. Excuse my ignorance, but how are we defining AI engineering? I'm assuming that is different from prompt engineering. So Nova, do you want to explains the AI engineering
Yeah.
you were talking about?
Yeah, totally different from prompt engineering. Prompt engineering was a term that was a little bit made up once again by a lot of people that are in the C-suite that were trying to sell that AI was going to AI is creating jobs, but only for people that are technical. Really, that those are the people that have the most leverage in the game. So that's what that's where prompt engineering came from. So no, we're not talking about prompt engineering. We're talking about the actual understanding. There's a couple of different dimensions of AI engineering, but the cores of it are really they have the creation of the models and the data science. That's one layer, but we're focused on the teaching of the essentially full stack understanding, the back end, the middle tier, and the front end of products, and then how to utilize AI in order to expedite the building process of any vision that you any product that you envision. And then also the DevOps element. So how to use AI to create your own employees. We have a number of different ways that we do that. They have, some lower level, but more and more higher level, and we'll actually get into one of those later on here. So yeah, we're talking about the really valuable stuff regarding AI engineering, not prompt engineering, even though we do teach prompt engineering as well.
Yeah, so this is a quick example of some of the things that he's talking about. So even when he was mentioning AI operations, so this is literally on the school platform where the education is at. To be clear, there's no like you don't get access to these things unless you signed up for the program. So all of these are locked. They're locked specifically just for people who've actually signed up for the program. So basically, just simply put, just saying like, sometimes I've seen people try to like just join the school platform thinking that they could get access to the program. They're like, dang, they don't get access to the program because it's locked out just for students. But again, so literally creating AI employees, custom GPT, creating AI employees, context, AI employees, Atlas, co-work, operations, and again, this is just one section of literally of the platform. We have AI Python mastery. And again, this is also an entirely huge section. AI front end mastery, revenue streams. So not just learning, creating AI, but learning different revenue streams, different ways to make money from AI. And I mean, the list goes on and on. Vibe coding, SQL mastery, product growth strategies. Then obviously when it comes to those that are seeking careers, full LinkedIn optimization. That's incredibly exhaustive when it comes to your LinkedIn. Over 3 hours of training that's helped people by itself get six-figure careers, and just a myriad of other stuff to truly be able to help you grow and scale in either your career or business. But yeah, I just wanted to show this so that way it's not no surface level. Like this is like we're talking about AI engineering. It's like, again, his graduates, his students that I've interviewed, and those interviews are on my YouTube. They are robotics engineers. They are AI engineers for top leading tech companies. So it's not something where because I know y'all see it's a lot of people today that say, "Hey, I'm teaching you AI.
Yeah,
I'm an AI expert." And no, they're just teaching you some prompting stuff. They're teaching you how to prompt some things. They're teaching you how to create an AI avatar. It's like that's not a business. That's a it's funny. I was talking to a friend of mine recently, and we were kind of joking about, y'all know that line with J. Cole, that song that he has with 21 Savage. And y'all know, and I'm gonna say the lyrics how they are. He said he said everyone has their thing. Some niggas make millions, other niggas making memes. And basically, we can fast forward that today. There's a lot of people that will teach you how to use AI to make something that's clever and cute. They're like, let me teach you how to make an AI avatar of yourself. It's like, that's not going to make you money. Like, that's not going to do like no company and no person is going to pay you money. The only people that are paying money for that are the people that are ignorant enough to think that, oh, if I sign up for this person's AI avatar creation course, is going to make me successful. If it was going to make you successful, they would just do that, like straight up. And so like they're not making six figures off of that. Versus the cool thing about working in tech or having a tech business is that just working in tech, you will make six figures. Just being an AI engineer, you'll make six figures. Some are making seven figures. But then if we talk about being an AI, like a true AI engineer founder, now we're talking seven figures. Trade Pilot AI is on its way to being an 8-figure revenue generating business in its first year. We're only 5 months in, and we're about to do $1 million or 1.5 million this month. And so we're on track to hit a $5 million month by the beginning of the summer and potentially a $10 million month by the end of the summer. And that is because of the power of having an AI business. Is nothing like it, y'all. Nothing like it, y'all. And so, and you know what? I'm gonna get, because I know sometimes I'm gonna do this real quick. Then we're gonna get back to it. And again, y'all, for those of y'all that are interested, just click the link in the description. But I'm gonna do this real quick because I know for those of y'all who don't know me, I know a lot of people know me. A lot of people know me. Some people don't. Is that some people? It's a lot of people out here that cap about stuff. And I can. I'm so happy I did this earlier today. Let me delete this one so that way it can't be seen. I ain't trying to put people's business out there. All right, here we go. I don't know if y'all can see this. Oh, I could just share the. You know what? Let me do this. This is gonna blow y'all's minds. This is gonna blow y'all's minds because I know conceptually it's hard sometimes to like fathom. We talk about, oh, this business or this thing is is generating this or is generating that. Sometimes conceptually that sounds like what? Like it just sounds foreign. And so let me. All right, my bad. I gotta delete it. Just a couple things. Trying to make sure y'all ain't seeing too much into the business. Too much stuff. All right, one more thing.
Oh, we love the question. Plus Ultra, we love the question, man. Keep on coming. I like your pause. Keep on coming to the show. I like your insight that you're bringing. The questions too, man. We like people like you, man. Let your friends know, and maybe sometime down the line, who knows? Maybe we'll start bringing on guests on the show to hear their input and whatnot, like some of these other shows.
Oh yeah, we definitely like Nova is fire. He is fire. I mean, as y'all can see, like y'all can clearly see it. He's amazing. And so let me show y'all this real quick. Because again, sometimes you have to see it. You have to see what is actually, and I'm actually gonna make a post about this a little bit later just to inspire people, because this is a huge milestone. It's a major milestone. So all right, so literally right here. So y'all could see these are literal transactions. We zoom in, you see 30,000, 3,000, and this is AI. This is literally for the AI engineering business. This is from the payment processor. And this is you literally see the hours. I screenshotted this last night. You could see the date and the time right up here when I screenshotted these on my phone. And this isn't it. You see, this is going all the way back. So all of this happened within one day, over $100,000 in one day. Let's swipe, if I can swipe. All right. Oh. All right, let's get right here. And so literally you can see 8 days ago. Actually, this actually jumped too far. So, all right, here. Nope. Okay, this is actually the same one. All right. Anyway, y'all see a bunch of numbers, whatever. The screenshots are out of order. It's in order in my phone, but for some reason on my MacBook, it's all completely out of order. But again, like this is from an AI engineering business. When you have an AI engineering business, it's significantly easier to build. Again, if you are an AI engineer, it's significantly easier to build. And the beautiful thing is that that's part of the reason why I'm becoming an AI engineer. So that way I don't have to continue to hire more staff or hire AI engineers. I could just do some of the technical work myself. And so definitely y'all look into this career, look into this space, because it is dually beneficial, whether you want a high 6-figure job or you want a 7-8 figure plus business. It is incredible. Incredible. All right. I'm looking at the chat a little bit. My bad. We're gonna pass it back over to the news. Let me
yeah, for sure.
Real quick. And I see that makes sense. Understand the math. I'm a data scientist by trade. I have my master's in data analytics. So if I understand AI as a broad term, hence why I was curious as to the definition, but cool. Yeah. And also, y'all, I want to be clear. I hope what I posted inspired. One thing I'm really big on is I like to flex, but I like to flex to inspire and not to flex to like, oh, I'm so popping, I'm so this. It's to inspire. And obviously I'm excited about what's going on. And just this AI age, man, what a time to be alive. The opportunity
seriously.
is just bananas, y'all. It is bananas. Like imagine
really
4 years ago, I was just getting into the tech industry. Brand new, not knowing what was going on. And now 8-figure on my way to be 8-figure AI founder. Crazy. Like low key, we're going to be looking up some records because I'm pretty confident like we're breaking records, but y'all could be breaking records too as well. So anyway, that being said, we're going to pass it back over to the news. We don't have too much more time because Nova actually is teaching. He's going to be teaching the students shortly. So we're going to get to like maybe one other piece of tech news, chop it up with y'all a little bit. And then from there, we are definitely going to need to wrap it up. And so, man, that being said, we got to figure out. So I'm gonna I'm going to allow the chat. I'm going to allow y'all to choose what the next topic is because we got a few of them. We got a few of them that we can go over. So I'm going to mention all of them and y'all can decide which one. So first off, we have the heated rivalry between Anthropic and OpenAI. We have an ad pop up. We have, all right, so same thing. This is going over the competition. We also have AI bots bullying human. We have the autonomous. Oh no, that's the wrong one. All right, let me go back over to this one. All right, sorry, we could talk about OpenClaw as well, which honestly that might be. I ain't gonna say. I'm not. Maybe my bad. Let me not sway y'all. So we could talk about OpenClaw. Man, these companies are going crazy with these ad pop-ups. Also, this is one that to me I wanted to talk about, but again, y'all make the decision. We also could talk about how tech workers are frustrated by their company's silence about ICE. As y'all know, these billionaires, a few years ago, these tech companies, they were very political. They were very behind. Now it's the opposite. These companies are like, bro, we ain't worried about what's going on. Hey, y'all figure that out. We over here just making money. Of course, we also could talk about AI being the real cause behind big tech layoffs. Again, because if it's not AI engineering or just a subtle couple other roles in tech, it's potentially on the chopping block. It is potentially on the chopping block. And that's why you always have to focus on a career in tech that is in the most demand. So that way you are safeguarded. Because these mass layoffs that are happening, it's not mass layoffs with AI engineers. And so, all right, then of course, the bromance to bitter feud, Elon Musk and Sam Altman rivalry, kind of breaking down in further detail what Nova and I were talking about not too long ago. Azure versus AWS, Google Cloud, who's winning the cloud war? So let's look in the chat to see what y'all are talking about. All right. Plus Ultra says, no, y'all are making sense. I appreciate the info. I'm going to check out the site. Doug says, as someone in cybersecurity could, someone in cybersecurity could realistically transition and get an AI engineering. Yeah. So to be clear, I've interviewed one of his graduates that I interviewed. His graduate had no background in tech. Their background, they were an event planner. Like, you don't get less techie than that. You plan events for people to come together and gather. He does the program. Fast forward, now he's a robotics engineer at a major tech company. So yeah, you being a cybersecurity engineer, you definitely could do it. If an event planner could come off the streets and then fast forward a few months later, be a robotics engineer. Incredible. Yeah, you definitely can do that. All right, so he says Anthropic and OpenAI. I'm thinking about getting into Anthropic's IPO. All right, Journey Myself Love. Let's talk about the AI bullying humans. What is happening there? All right, so we need a tiebreaker. We need somebody else to say the topic. So Anthropic and OpenAI. I'm thinking about so we need a tiebreaker. Nova, I guess you could be the tiebreaker. So what topic do you discuss, Nova?
Yeah, absolutely. So we got let's talk about the AI bullying humans. What is happening there, or the Anthropic and OpenAI? I'm thinking about getting into the IPO. I think the most valuable for now would just be the Anthropic and OpenAI. I think that would be the most valuable for now. And maybe we could. Well, it's between that and OpenClaw. All right, let's override both of them and go with OpenClaw, just because that's one of the most valuable things that people would want to know about.
All right, cool. Let's get into that one then. This is doing an explanation of what it is.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about Anthropic and OpenAI earlier. Of course, with OpenAI, Anthropic is about an IPO. So and as you're saying, plus Ultra, Anthropic's IPO, they would be worthwhile because they're one of the organizations that have enough moats to where they're going to be a player, long term, unless unless Microsoft or Google throws, $1 trillion at them or whatever, but they're going to be in the game long term because they built enough moats, not just with Claude Code, but also with Claude Cowork. So for that reason, Anthropic's IPO, you definitely want to, keep an eye on that and just invest. All right, but let's get into ClawBot. Go ahead, take it away, Cyrus.
All good stuff. So from ClawBot to Moltbot to OpenClaw, changing their names over and over. Meet the AI agent generating buzz and fear globally. Now, through several name changes, adoption across Silicon Valley to Beijing, and mounting controversy, the open source AI agent, now known as OpenClaw, has emerged as one of the most talked about tools in the AI space this year. Previously called ClawBot and Moltbot, the AI agent was launched just weeks ago. Again, y'all, look how fast when you create an AI product, how fast it can go viral. AI agent was launched just weeks ago by Austrian software developer Peter Steinberg. Its sudden ascension, driven by its capabilities and social media attention, comes amid growing interest in AI agents that can autonomously complete tasks, make decisions, and take actions on behalf of users without constant human guidance. Until recently, AI agents have failed to reach mainstream consciousness in the same way large language models did following the emergence of OpenAI's ChatGPT. But OpenClaw could signal a shift. Not only do business leaders predict that AI agents like OpenClaw will improve productivity as personal agents or personal assistants, but some believe they will soon be running entire companies on their own, and that's literally going to happen. Marked as the AI that actually does things, OpenClaw runs directly on users' operating systems and applications. It can automate tasks such as managing emails, calendars, browsing the web, interacting with online services. I'm literally getting mine set up today, so it can book my flights, it can book my hotels and Airbnbs, it can order my food. I'm literally getting one to do everything. And anyone who's used it, you literally text on it. You can text it. So you can be at a party and be like, oh, I need this thing. You can text it like a friend and it'll do a task for you. It's crazy. So to use OpenClaw, one has to install it on a server or local device and connect it to a large language model, such as Anthropic's Claude model or ChatGPT, a process that might be difficult for less tech-savvy users. All right, there's a lot more to this, but we'll stop there really quickly. First off, what all do y'all know about ClawBot, Moltbot, OpenClaw? What are some things, some use cases y'all have seen it for? And how many of you, who all of you are interested in actually getting this? Like who all of you are planning on actually getting this? Now, Nova, I know you have a lot to say about this. One of the questions I have for you is about the security risks involved with OpenClaw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is a high security risk at this point. Now, they do have some guardrails. They do. I'm actually going through the process of installing it right now. This last sentence where it says a process that might be difficult for less tech savvy users, that so far for me, that's been an understatement. It's been taking me a couple of days to set this up properly. Now, the benefits of that is that I've had the opportunity of like touching a whole of like just understanding more about the setup process. Super interesting things, man. They have a section of the files where they have a file called like identity. They have a file called like the soul. They have the file called like the agent, where you're pretty much you're programming in text the different ways that the whole system thinks. So it made me just think like, man, we're really close to these like this robotics era, as these things are going to be, more prevalent. Super interesting. But nonetheless, man, the people that did create it, they have some levels of, security in terms of the processing of thinking through things. You could put in guardrails, and in a lot of cases, even though the system, the bot does run autonomously to some extent, a lot of the things take permissions. So it'll ask you for your permission before it does things. There are edge cases where it didn't. There was somebody where I think the news was saying that the AI agent, that their bot went and purchased like a whole lot of like either courses or meat or whatever, some sort of food. and it costs a person, hypothetically, I don't know the validity of it, but it costs a person like tens of thousands of dollars or something like that. Yeah, at this point, it's very early. Like this thing was, as they're saying, it was just created a couple weeks ago. There are going to be some mishaps here and there. So yeah, there is some security risks.
Yeah, I saw the founder. They were asking him. About profits, and he was claiming that he doesn't really care about making money. He's just excited about what this is doing. And so I feel like a lot of founders say that. I feel a lot of tech founders say that, and it's a way. I feel like it's a PR. It's a way to make people like them more and be like, oh man, like wow, like man, you're just so passionate about this. It's like, yeah, right. Like, yeah, right, dude. It's like, okay. And
that's what Sam Altman said, man.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, didn't he used to say that? He used to be like, yeah, we don't really care about money. We just want. And now he out here doing tricks for money. He's going to everywhere trying to get money. Yeah. He went from like, we don't care about money to, yeah, you're doing everything you can to get some money now, boy. And so once them bills come due, you care about money.
Yeah, for real. And also just, I mean, literally Anthropic is now, as a lot of us have seen, they had the Super Bowl commercials. The commercials there, you see them on LinkedIn now too. I'm like, whoa, okay. The ones where they're taking shots at OpenAI, where they're having like, yes. They're talking about how OpenAI is for their general users, they're planning on adding ads, right? So Anthropic is throwing shots at OpenAI. Now you don't throw shots at people if you don't care about money and stuff like that. You throw shots because you know that they're in your lane and you want to move them out the way. So man, this stuff it's big business.
You know what's funny? I don't know if y'all saw or not. So Anthropic's post taking shots at OpenAI, it only got like on X, it only got something like 5 million views. Sam Altman, because again, he's spiraling. He responded, and his response clearly showed it bothered him.
Yeah.
And because of his response got 15 million views, his response generated more traffic to Anthropic than Anthropic's post did. And it was like, oh my God. Like the best thing he could have did was just kept his mouth shut and left it alone.
Yeah. That's what it does when you got to do the Kendrick route, just keep your mouth shut and come over with like bombs,
Yeah, you can't do that. You cannot do that. And so someone put up a post saying that the Anthropic and OpenAI beef is the newest, the tech version of Kendrick and Drake. And that is true. It's the same way Kendrick baited Drake into responding. And I'm more of a Drake fan. I'm a much bigger Drake fan than a Kendrick fan. Nevertheless, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Drake got baited into a battle that, for better or for worse, Kendrick had certain things prepared and Drake didn't know that. He literally set the trap for Drake. And Drake fell into it. That's the exact same thing Anthropic did to Sam Altman, where Sam Altman fell into the trap. And by that, he blew Anthropic up even more, the same way Drake blew Kendrick up even more by responding and going back and forth. And so, I mean, this is a tale as old as time. Like, yo, just sometimes you got to ignore your haters, because they hating on you. If they're talking about you and you're not talking about them, that means you're above them. But once you start focusing on them, you're bringing them up to your level or you're coming down to their level. So it's pretty crazy. Let me ask y'all in the chat, before we wrap up. What do you prefer? Do you prefer, and I'm not asking what do you use more, but what do you prefer? Do you prefer OpenAI? Do you prefer Anthropic? Do you prefer Copilot?
Absolutely.
Grok, like what is your preferred, or Gemini? How could I almost forget about Gemini? Like which model do you prefer? I will say I almost exclusively use ChatGPT, but I want to basically I want to do an exodus. I actually want to stop using ChatGPT. I want to stop. I either want to use Anthropic or I want to use Gemini. And so DeepSeek has me curious too. But I'm a little bit of a nationalist. I'm America. So I'm not sure if I want to use DeepSeek. But at the same time, it's like, if it's the best, I probably want to use the best. But let me know which one it is that y'all prefer. We'll look at a couple other comments from the chat. But that being said, before wrapping up, again, want to let people know they're tuned in later. For those of y'all that have been asking, a lot of people be in my YouTube and my LinkedIn. I'm not able to respond to everybody. But for those of y'all that have been asking, hey, Cyrus, I see you've been talking about AI engineering, AI business. Make sure that you click the link in the description. Plus, Ultra says you can stop. I'm not sure what he's talking about. OpenAI messed up. I'm not sure what you. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, OpenAI messed up. Journey, myself love. Hey, what's up, Journey? Myself love said, I prefer ChatGPT. It's bigger than AI hip hop. That's hilarious. Okay, I get the reference. I think I get the reference. Like it's yeah, okay, it's bigger than AI hip hop. That's actually funny. That's hilarious. Good stuff. Actually, let me ask you, which one is your preferred? Which one are you using, Nova?
So, like everybody, I mean, we all started off with ChatGPT. I was literally on ChatGPT the first week that it came out. So because of that, like, you know, I have a lot of course, conversations, dialogue, as Plus Ultra is saying, there's ways to, you know, port some of the stuff. But the thing about it, one of the core things that ChatGPT does that Claude doesn't do yet is image generation. And I have rapport with ChatGPT at this point, you know, where you could literally, I mean, everybody uses ChatGPT for image generation. You know, last week it was like the caricatures, you know, people were seeing a lot of the caricatures on Facebook or any of those different platforms. So Claude doesn't do any image generation yet. There might be plugins and such like that. So because of that, they do have a slight moat there where you're like, I have to use this for this tool. But at the same time, though, the AI model for Claude, which is Opus, that model is literally incredible. Sounds crazy to some, but I have a $200 a month subscription with, like, you know, with Cursor, because of how well that model is. So, yeah, I would say at this point I still use both, but Claude is a bit of a better investment if I wasn't doing some of the image generation stuff.
Yeah, that's fire. All right, good stuff. All right, we're gonna look at the chat. Let's see. I still use ChatGPT, but for coding, I like Claude. Yeah, I've heard that too. So we use Claude as well. So Trade Pilot, we primarily use Claude for Trade Pilot, and so I still use ChatGPT, but for coding, I use Google for image generation. I've actually never used Google for image generation. How many of you? I love using. Is it Notebook LM or no? It can't be Notebook LM. I can't remember what it is. I found one of the tools, and I'm sure there's a lot to do this, by the way. So I don't want anybody to be like, well, a lot of them do it. I've been using a tool recently where I can upload a video, and if there are things in the video that I want removed, because y'all know I have a lot of content. Unfortunately, most of my content has a lot of text on the screen. And so I'm like, man, I want to repost this, but I want to put a different text on the screen. And so, of course, I was like, oh, I'm sure there's AI that does that. So I just, you know, looked it up, found one, downloaded it on my phone. All I do is upload the video, and I say, yeah, remove the text. And it does a fire job of
I think that's Caption.
What would have been there. So I don't use that. I've heard Caption does that too. I've heard a few do that. So there are a few that do it, and it does it pretty fast. And it does it like the mobile application works the same way as the web. It is fire. Like I'm like, oh, this is incredible. I have so much old content that I could use that old content now. And so it's like, man, like what a time to be alive. And it's only 2026, y'all. Imagine 2030. Goodness. Like the cool thing, this is the last thing I'm gonna say. The cool thing that I love about AI and about the future that we are in and the future we're heading towards, we truly are a very short time away before AI is creating the new technology for us. And we no longer have to rely on human ingenuity to come up with something. Now that's beneficial because eventually AI is going to come up with the medicines. It's going to come up with I mean, I almost think of it this way. I'm like, man, when we think about aliens, for those that believe in aliens, and I'm not sure if I do or if I don't, I'm kind of indifferent. But we know that if aliens came to Earth, we would never stand a chance in a fight, because a species that's that advanced, that's able to travel through space and travel all the way to another universe, their technology is so far advanced, our minds can't even conceive it. So it's almost by default. That's why when you watch Man of Steel or other movies where aliens come to Earth, I know most people don't think of it as an alien movie, but literally they are aliens. The Kryptonians are aliens. When they came to Earth soldiers didn't even try to fight them because they knew there's no way. Just them coming to this planet, we've never seen these people before. And so my theory is that AI, especially in the next 5, 10 plus years, AI is going to be the thing that like evolves us into eons of evolution when it comes to technology. It's going to super expedite the process of our advancements.
Yeah.
And so
exactly.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah, man. It's that logarithmic curve, right? So it's like you've seen that curve and it looks like it's going gradually. And then from there, it is like that. That's what's really happening right now. And that's what a lot of people, as we're talking about with OpenClaw, people are looking at OpenClaw like it is one of those things that makes that curve go higher and higher, because there are people that I've seen videos, they are creating, it's like they have a whole employee structure they have a manager, AI agent that's managing the AI developer, the AI DevOps, the AI, so people are really doing that. It's happening all so fast. So we're really moving in that direction. And some people are saying, well, I'll just tell my AI agent to scrape through Reddit, and then from there, create a solution. And then from there, use the other AI agents to build the solution. And from there, one that publishes. So people are looking at it in that direction. So yeah, man, we are in very, very interesting times.
Exciting. Hey, look, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all hit the like button if you've not hit the like button. Of course, it helps support what we're doing. And what we're doing is we're trying to make more people aware of everything that's happening in the tech and AI space. And so unfortunately, there are a lot of people that are unaware of what's happening. Some people still think this is just a fad, it's a trend. But for those of you that are here, you know that it's not just a fad, it's a trend. This is something that is transformational and will be transformational. So by you hitting the like button, it allows this content to be shared to more people and to educate more people, especially people who typically look like us. And people who typically look like us, they feel more comfortable learning about this and believing in it when they see someone like us, people like us talking about it. So please make sure you hit the like button, share this with someone, and make sure that you are tuning in on Saturdays as we continue the weekly AI and tech news. All links are down in the description below for AI engineering career, or to have AI make passive income for you with Trade Pilot AI. Love y'all. Appreciate you, Nova. Y'all have a great weekend. Oh, and I'm going to Brazil for Carnival. If anybody else going to Brazil for Carnival next week, hit me up.
All right, y'all.